My in-laws said they couldn't afford to help with the wedding, then posted photos from their European cruise. When Garrett proposed, I was over the moon. Then I met his parents. His mother Phyllis made it clear I wasn't good enough. We'd set a budget of $15,000. My parents contributed $3,000. His father owns 3 car dealerships, but they claimed fixed income. I picked up extra shifts. We ate ramen. I bought my dress for $200. Then came cruise photos. Greece, Italy, Spain. 2 months before the wedding, Phyllis called. We have 40 people we must invite. Another $3,200. I worked double shifts. At the reception, Randall stood drunk. My son paid for this himself, not like young people expecting handouts. 3 weeks later, Phyllis posted about entitled millennials, 50,000 shares. Someone asked about travels. We got back from Monaco, had extra money from not funding unnecessary expenses. I found an old email. Phyllis to Randall. We're putting aside $50,000 annually for each kid's weddings. I drafted a Facebook post. Garrett walked in. You can't. Garrett's phone buzzed. Phyllis. Dinner Sunday? I opened Facebook. Phyllis at their lawyer's office. Updating estate plans. Below, her sister. Protecting assets from gold diggers. I clicked. Not publish. Share privately. Sent everything to Garrett's siblings, aunts, cousins. Within an hour, his brother. Is this real? Phyllis called. You turned everyone against us. I didn't. She did. If you stay with her, you're no longer our son. Then I'm not. Monday, a letter arrived. They're suing us. Defamation, $500,000 damages. Last paragraph. Furthermore, we will disclose information establishing a pattern of gold-digging behavior. Garrett grabbed it. What is this? My phone buzzed. Phyllis. You should have taken the money and left him. Garrett stared. What money? 3 years ago, I'd been engaged to someone else. His family paid me $75,000 to walk away. Money I'd used for student loans. Money I never told Garrett about. My phone buzzed. A photo. Me, younger, next to a man in a tuxedo. Massive diamond on my finger. Another photo. Me signing papers. Check visible. $75,000. Text. Tell him or I will. 24 hours. Garrett's phone buzzed. Phyllis sent him the photos. Who is that? The room spun. His name was Thaddeus. We were engaged 4 years ago. 4 years? Before me? Yes. His family paid you to leave? I nodded. 75,000? Another nod. Where is it? Gone. Student loans. I had nothing when I met you. But you had it once. You were engaged to a millionaire and took money. It wasn't like that. Then what was it? Because it looks exactly like what my parents are saying. I loved him. His family destroyed me. That money was survival. Why didn't you tell me? Because of this. I knew how it would look, Phyllis called. Garrett answered. What do you want? A conversation. Tomorrow. The 3 of us. She can explain then. Or I explain to a judge. Garrett hung up. Looked at me. Tomorrow. My parents' house. You're telling me everything. Garrett. Everything. The engagement. The money. Why you kept it secret. His voice was ice. Then I'll decide if my parents are right. You'll decide? My voice rose. After everything they've done? After humiliating us? You'll decide if they're right about me? You lied too. For 3 years. About $75,000? About being engaged to a millionaire. What else haven't you told me? Nothing. That's it. How do I know that? I couldn't answer. Standing there looking at him, I saw doubt. And doubt, once planted, is almost impossible to kill. My phone rang again. Unknown number. I answered. Heavy breathing. Then a man's voice. Deep, cultured. One I hadn't heard in 3 years. Hello, darling. I heard my name came up in conversation today. Thaddeus. My hands went numb. How did you get this number? My mother. She's been in contact with someone named Phyllis. Fascinating woman. Very thorough. Garrett watched me, his eyes boring holes. What do you want? To talk. Clear the air. You left rather abruptly, if you recall. Your family paid me to leave. My mother paid you. I never wanted that. You didn't stop it. Silence. No, he said finally. I didn't. And I've regretted it every day since. Don't. Meet me. 1 hour. The Riverside Hotel bar. Same place we had our first date. I'm married now. I know. Congratulations. But you're also being sued. And I have information that could help. I looked at Garrett. His jaw was clenched so tight I could see the muscles jumping. What information? Not over the phone. 1 hour. Come alone. He hung up. Garrett stood. You're not going. He says he has information that could help us. He's your ex-fiancé. The one whose family paid you off. You really think this isn't a trap? I don't know what it is. But we're being sued for $500,000. If he knows something, then he can tell our lawyer. You're not meeting him alone. He said to come alone. I don't care what he said. You lied to me for 3 years. Now your ex is calling, mysteriously connected to my mother, offering to help? No, absolutely not. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Your mother-in-law is not who you think she is. Neither is mine. Come alone or don't come at all. Your choice. I showed Garrett. He grabbed his keys. Fine, but I'm driving, and I'm waiting in the parking lot. You have 30 minutes. The drive was silent. Garrett's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. We'd been married 6 months, half a year, and suddenly everything felt like it was built on sand. I loved you, I said quietly. Loved? Love, present tense. I love you. He didn't respond. The Riverside Hotel was where Thaddeus had proposed, where his mother had cornered me 3 days later with papers and a check, where I'd signed away 2 years of my life for enough money to finish my degree without drowning. I walked into the bar at 9:47 p.m. Thaddeus sat in the corner booth, same one we'd always chosen. He looked different, older, thinner. His suit probably cost more than our wedding. You came. You said you had information. Sit, please. I sat, kept my purse in my lap, phone on silent but recording. You look good, he said. What do you know about Phyllis? He smiled, not warmly. My mother and Phyllis met at a charity luncheon 18 months ago. They discovered they had something in common, sons who'd married beneath them. Garrett didn't marry beneath him. I didn't marry beneath me either, but our mothers disagreed. A waitress appeared. Thaddeus ordered wine. I asked for water. After you left, he continued, my mother was quite pleased with herself. She'd successfully removed what she called the obstacle. She bragged about it to her friends, how she'd paid a reasonable sum to prevent a costly mistake. That's horrible. Yes, it took me 2 years to realize just how horrible. By then you were gone. You'd blocked my number, changed your email, moved apartments. I looked for you. You had your mother pay me off. Why would I want to be found? Because I wanted to apologize. To give you back the money. I stared. Why? Because what she did was wrong. What I let her do was unforgivable. And because I realized too late that I loved you more than I loved her approval. My throat tightened. You can't just... I'm not trying to win you back. You're married. I respect that. But when my mother mentioned Phyllis at dinner last week, when she said they'd worked together to handle a situation, I did some digging. He pulled out a folder, set it on the table. Phyllis reached out to my mother 6 months ago, asked for advice on how to handle a daughter-in-law problem. My mother, always eager to share her expertise, told her everything. The private investigator she used to dig up dirt, the lawyer who specializes in preemptive lawsuits, the technique of turning the family against the outsider. I opened the folder. Emails between his mother Victoria and Phyllis. Dozens of them. Victoria, your plan worked beautifully. We paid the girl from Thaddeus's past and she walked away. I want to do the same with this one, but she's already married to my son. Any suggestions? Victoria's response. Attached is contact information for the investigator I used. He can find anything. Once you have leverage, the rest is easy. Make her look like the villain. Turn your son against her. They either divorce or live miserably. Either way, you win. My hands shook. The next email. Found something perfect. The girl took money from a previous relationship. Thaddeus's fiancé. $75,000. We can use this. Victoria. Excellent. Now file the lawsuit. Make it expensive. Make her look like a gold digger. Your son will see the truth soon enough. I looked up. Thaddeus's face was grim. My mother facilitated your destruction twice. Once with me, now with your husband. I won't let it happen again. Why are you helping me? Because I should have helped you the first time. I photographed every page with my phone. Does Victoria know you're here? No. And she won't. Not until I confront her tomorrow. With my lawyer. What? I'm suing her. For emotional damages. For interfering in my relationships. For using family money to harm innocent people. It won't win, but it'll be public. And it'll ruin her reputation. I sat back, processing. Phyllis doesn't know about this. Not yet. But she will. When my lawsuit names her as a co-conspirator. A laugh bubbled up. Slightly hysterical. Your mother and my mother-in-law. Teaming up to destroy me. Teaming up to destroy any woman who dares love their sons. They've done it before. To others. I found 3 other cases. 3 other women paid off or driven away. Who? My brother's ex-girlfriend. My cousin's wife before their divorce. Another son of one of my mother's friends. These women collect daughter-in-law scalps. I stood. I need to show this to Garrett. One more thing. He pulled out another paper. Phyllis told my mother she has a private investigator following you. Recording conversations, taking photos, building a harassment case. Harassment? She's going to claim you've been stalking her, sending threatening messages, creating a hostile environment. The lawsuit for defamation is just the opening act. But I haven't. Doesn't matter. She has fabricated evidence. Screenshots can be faked, timestamps altered. By the time you prove it's false, the damage is done. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm trying to be the man I should have been 3 years ago. I walked out of the bar at 10:23 p.m. Garrett sat in the car, engine running. When I opened the door, he didn't look at me. Well? I handed him my phone. Read the photos, all of them. He scrolled. His face changed. Confusion, shock, fury. My mother did this? With Victoria. Thaddeus's mother. They've been working together. This is insane. They've done it to other women. This is a pattern. Garrett kept reading. I watched emotions flicker across his face. Finally, he looked up. You took the money because Victoria forced you. She gave me 2 options. Take the money and leave, or she'd destroy my career before it started. She had connections at every hospital in the city, every nursing program. She said she'd make sure I never worked in healthcare. Why didn't you tell me? Because I was ashamed. Because I thought it proved I wasn't strong enough. Because I was terrified your mother would find out and use it exactly like this. Garrett's hands trembled. She called Victoria. Asked for advice on how to get rid of you. My own mother. Thaddeus is suing Victoria tomorrow. The lawsuit will name Phyllis. Good. We sat in silence. Then Garrett started the car. We're going to my parents' house. Right now. It's almost 11. I don't care. The drive took 20 minutes. Phyllis's house, the house Garrett grew up in, was dark except for one light upstairs. Garrett didn't knock. He used his key. Mom, Dad, living room, now. I heard footsteps. Phyllis appeared at the top of the stairs in a silk robe. Randall behind her. What is this about? Garrett held up his phone. Victoria Ashworth. That name ring a bell? Phyllis's face went carefully blank. Don't lie, I have the emails, all of them. Randall came down the stairs. It's late. Whatever this is, you knew. Garrett's voice was deadly quiet. You both knew. You worked with Victoria to set up my wife. She's not worthy of you, Phyllis said, her voice cold. Not worthy? She worked 3 jobs to pay for our wedding, while you cruised around Europe. And then you had the audacity to call her a gold digger? She took money from Victoria's family. Because Victoria blackmailed her, threatened her career, forced her to choose between the man she loved and her future. That's not— I have the emails. Victoria wrote it all down, bragged about it. You two have been planning this for months. Phyllis descended the stairs slowly. That woman was not good enough for Thaddeus. And this one is not good enough for you. I did what any good mother would do. Protected my son. I don't need protection from my wife. I need protection from you. Garrett, you're being sued. Tomorrow, Victoria's son is filing a lawsuit against her for interfering in his relationships. The lawsuit names you as a co-conspirator. It'll be public record. Phyllis's face drained of color. He wouldn't. He would. He is. And I'm going to help him. I'm going to testify. About the wedding fund you lied about, the emails you sent, everything. Randall stepped forward. Now wait just a minute. No, you wait. Both of you. You humiliated us at our wedding. You turned our marriage into a financial nightmare. And then you tried to destroy my wife's reputation. For what? Your pride? We were protecting our assets, Phyllis said stiffly. Your assets? I don't want your money. I never did. Keep it. All of it. The wedding fund, the trust, whatever inheritance you planned, give it to charity or burn it. I don't care. You don't mean that. I absolutely mean it. Because I would rather have nothing with her than everything with you. I stood frozen in the doorway. Garrett's voice was shaking. You're no longer welcome in our life. No calls, no texts, no surprise visits. If you want a relationship with me again, you apologize to my wife, publicly. And you mean it. Until then, you have no son. He grabbed my hand. We walked out. In the car, Garrett put his head on the steering wheel. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. I doubted you. I believed them for even a second. You didn't know. I should have trusted you. I touched his face. You're trusting me now. We drove home. Garrett held my hand the entire way. At 2:09 a.m., my phone buzzed. Thaddeus. Filed the paperwork. It's done. My lawyer says Victoria will try to settle. She won't want this public. But I'm not settling. Some things are worth more than money. I showed Garrett. He typed a response. Thank you. For helping her. For doing the right thing. Thaddeus. Tell her I'm sorry. For everything. I took the phone back. I forgive you. Good luck. 3 days later, the story broke. Local news picked it up first. Socialite sued by son for relationship interference. Then regional papers. Wealthy mothers accused of paying women to leave their sons. Then national. The emails leaked. All of them. Phyllis's phone number was published by mistake. Then not by mistake. Women started calling. Other daughters-in-law. Other ex-girlfriends. Turns out Victoria and Phyllis weren't the only ones. There was a whole network. Wealthy mothers who met at country clubs and charity events, who shared tactics, compared notes, celebrated victories. They had a private Facebook group, Protecting Our Legacy. Over 200 members. Someone leaked the entire group. The posts were vicious. Photos of daughters-in-law with captions like, "This one lasted 3 months. Advice on finding private investigators. Strategies for turning sons against their wives." One post from Phyllis, "Sent the defamation lawsuit today. She'll be broken within a month. Then my son will see clearly." Comments underneath. "Brilliant. Keep us updated." The media frenzy was instant. Phyllis lost her position on the hospital board. Randall's dealerships faced boycotts. Their country club revoked their membership. Victoria fared worse. Her husband, Thaddeus's father, filed for divorce. He'd had no idea. The family business dropped her from the board. 4 other mothers from the Facebook group faced lawsuits from former daughters-in-law. But the real damage was social. These women lived for their status, their reputations, their circles. Now they were pariahs. Phyllis called Garrett once. He didn't answer. She texted, "We need to talk. This is getting out of hand." He blocked her number. Victoria called me. I almost didn't answer. "I want to apologize. 3 years too late. I know, I was wrong. About you, about Thaddeus, about all of it. Why are you really calling?" Silence. Then, "Because I lost my son, and I don't know how to get him back. That's not my problem. Please, just tell me, how do I fix this?" "You can't. Some things, once broken, stay broken." I hung up. 2 weeks later, Phyllis showed up at our apartment. Garrett saw her through the window. Don't answer. But she knocked, and knocked, and knocked. Finally, I opened the door. "Leave. I need to talk to my son." "Your son doesn't want to talk to you. I'm his mother. He doesn't have to do anything." Garrett appeared behind me. "She's right. Go home." "I'm sorry." Phyllis's voice cracked. "I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong." "About what specifically?" "About her. About the wedding. About the lawsuit. About all of it. And I want to make it right." "How?" "We'll drop the lawsuit. We'll issue a public apology. We'll repay you for the wedding. Whatever you want. I want you to leave." "Garrett, you didn't just hurt her. You humiliated us. You tried to destroy her. And when that didn't work, you teamed up with another toxic woman to break us apart. That's not something you fix with an apology. Then what do? You live with what you've done. You think about the kind of person you became, and you figure out if that's who you want to be." He closed the door in her face. We heard her car start, drive away. "Did we do the right thing?" I asked. "Yes." But his voice was sad. The next morning, Randall called. Not Garrett's phone, mine. "My wife made mistakes. Your wife is cruel. She grew up in a different time, different values. That's not an excuse." "I'm not excusing her. I'm explaining. Her mother was the same way, and her grandmother. This is how they were taught to protect their families. By destroying innocent people, by controlling what they could control. These women, they don't have careers. don't have their own money. Their power comes from their children, their marriages. When someone threatens that, I didn't threaten anything. I loved your son. I made him happy. I know. I see that now. But she couldn't see it. She saw a threat. That's her problem, not mine. Fair enough. But I want you to know something. I didn't know about the emails, the Facebook group, the plan with Victoria. I thought it was just typical mother-in-law disapproval. If I'd known, would you have stopped her? Silence. I don't know. Probably not. I've never been good at standing up to Phyllis. That's my failing, but I'm calling to tell you that the lawsuit is dropped, officially. The paperwork was filed this morning. You won't hear from our lawyer again. Why? Because watching my son walk away from us, that was a wake-up call, for both of us. We're seeing a therapist. Phyllis is. It's a start. That's good, for you, but it doesn't change anything for us. I understand. I just wanted you to know. We're trying. He hung up. I told Garrett. He nodded but didn't say anything. That night his brother called, the one who'd asked if the emails were real. Hey, can we talk? About? Mom, Dad, all of it. Garrett put him on speaker. I believe you, his brother said. About everything. I went through Mom's computer, found more. She did the same thing to Brianna. Your ex-girlfriend? Yeah, I thought she left me. Turns out Mom paid her 20 grand to disappear. Told her I was cheating, that I'd never been serious. Jesus. I've been talking to Brianna. We're trying to figure out if there's anything worth saving. After 3 years. Good luck. The thing is, I'm furious at Mom, but she's still Mom. You know? I do. Are you ever going to forgive her? Garrett looked at me. I shrugged. I don't know. Maybe. But not now. Not while she's still justifying it. Not while she's calling it protection instead of abuse. Yeah, that tracks. Listen, there's something else. The Facebook group. The one that got leaked. What about it? Some of those women they're organizing, talking about suing for invasion of privacy, claiming their conversations were stolen. They were in a private group. That's their argument. That someone hacked them. Doesn't matter. What they said is still what they said. I know, but they're going to fight. And it's going to get uglier before it gets better. Let them fight. I'm done. After he hung up, Garrett turned to me. Are you okay? I don't know what I am. Fair. We ordered pizza, watched bad TV, pretended everything was normal, but it wasn't normal, and it wouldn't be for a long time. The next week, I got a message on Instagram from a woman named Elena. Hi, you don't know me, but my mother-in-law was in that Facebook group. She paid me to leave my husband. I didn't take the money, but she destroyed me anyway, told everyone I was having an affair. My husband believed her. We divorced. I want to thank you for exposing them. You're braver than I was. I showed Garrett. You should respond. What do I say? The truth, that you're not brave. You're just tired of being scared. I wrote back. I'm sorry that happened to you. You deserved better. We all did. Elena responded immediately. There are more of us. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Women these mothers targeted. We're thinking of starting a support group. Would you be interested? I stared at the message. What? Garrett asked. They want to start a support group for daughters-in-law who were targeted. That's actually a great idea. Is it? Or is it just more drama? It's healing, processing, community. That's not drama. I thought about Victoria's threats, Phyllis's emails, the years of shame I'd carried. Okay, I'll do it. The first meeting was in a church basement. 15 women showed up. We went around the circle. Each told her story. Elena's mother-in-law had hired an actor to seduce her, took photos, sent them to her husband. Another woman, Claire, her mother-in-law had reported her to CPS. False accusations of child abuse. It took 6 months to clear her name. Another, Vanessa, her mother-in-law poisoned her at Thanksgiving, put something in the food, sent her to the hospital, claimed she was being dramatic. Story after story, each worse than the last. When it was my turn, I told them everything. Thaddeus, Victoria, Phyllis, the emails. When I finished, Claire reached over, squeezed my hand. You exposed them. You made it public. That took guts. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Doesn't matter. It's out now, and they can't hide anymore. Over the next few months, the group grew. 20 women, then 40, then 60. We shared resources, lawyer recommendations, therapists who understood, strategies for setting boundaries. Some women reconciled with their mothers-in-law. Most didn't. But we all healed, slowly, in pieces. Victoria reached out again 6 months later, through Thaddeus. She wants to meet you, to apologize properly. I don't need her apology. I think you might. Not for her, for you. I thought about it, talked to Garrett, to my therapist, to Elena. Finally agreed. Coffee shop, public place, Thaddeus present. Victoria looked older, smaller somehow. Her confidence was gone. Thank you for seeing me. I nodded. I've been in therapy, working through why I did what I did. It's not an excuse, but I want you to understand. I'm listening. My mother-in-law hated me, made my life hell for 20 years. I swore when Thaddeus got married I wouldn't let him go through that. But somewhere along the way, I became her. I became the monster. You did. I know. And I'm sorry. Truly. You loved Thaddeus. He loved you. And I destroyed that because I was scared. Scared of what? Of losing control, of not mattering, of being replaced. I sat back. You know what the sad part is? I never wanted to replace you. I just wanted to love your son. I know that now. Do you? Or do you just know you got caught? She flinched. Both, maybe. I don't know. But I'm trying to be better. To do better. For yourself or for Thaddeus? For everyone I hurt. We talked for an hour. She didn't make excuses, didn't minimize, just listened when I told her exactly how much damage she'd caused. When I left, Thaddeus walked me to my car. Thank you. For what? For giving her a chance. She doesn't deserve it. No, She doesn't, but I do. I deserve to let go of this anger, to stop letting her live in my head. He smiled. Sad. You're different. Stronger. I had to be. If things were different, they're not, and that's okay. We weren't meant to be, but I hope you find someone your mother can't destroy. She won't get the chance. I moved. Different city, different life. She doesn't have my address. Good. I drove home. Garrett was waiting. How did it go? She apologized. And I think she meant it, but it doesn't change anything. No, it doesn't. Have you talked to your mom? He shook his head. Not yet. I'm not ready. Okay. We were quiet. Then he asked, do you think we'll ever have a normal relationship with them? I don't know. Maybe. But it won't be the relationship we had. It'll be something new, with boundaries. I can live with that. Me too. A year after everything exploded, Phyllis sent a letter. Not a text. Not an email. An actual handwritten letter. Dear Garrett and my name, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know what I did was unforgivable, but I want you to know that I'm in therapy, working on myself, understanding where I went wrong. I'm not asking you to respond. I'm not asking for anything. I just want you to know that I'm sorry. For the wedding, for the lawsuit, for everything. You deserved better from me, both of you. I hope someday we can talk, but if not, I understand. I love you. Mom. Garrett read it 3 times. What do you think? I think she's trying. Whether it's real or performative, I don't know. Do we respond? Not yet. Let her sit with it. If she's really changed, she'll understand that healing takes time. We put the letter in a drawer. 3 months later, Garrett's father had a heart attack. Garrett got the call from his brother. It's bad. They're not sure he'll make it. We drove to the hospital. Phyllis was in the waiting room. When she saw us, she stood, started to speak. Garrett held up his hand. Not now. How is he? In surgery. They're doing a triple bypass. It'll be hours. We sat on opposite sides of the waiting room. After an hour, Phyllis approached. Can I get you anything? Coffee? Food? We're fine, Garrett said. She nodded, walked away. 2 hours later, the doctor came out. He's stable. The surgery went well. But he'll need to make major lifestyle changes. Relief flooded Phyllis's face. Over the next week, Garrett visited his father every day. I came with him. Phyllis was always there. She didn't push, didn't try to force conversation, just quietly shared space. One afternoon, Randall woke up while we were there. Son, hey dad, I'm sorry for everything. I know. Your wife, she's good for you. I can see that now. She is. Phyllis and I, we made mistakes. Big ones. Yeah. Can you forgive us? Garrett looked at me. I squeezed his hand. Maybe. Someday. But you need to understand something. We're not going back to how things were. If we have a relationship, it's on our terms, with boundaries. And if you cross them, we're gone. For good. Fair enough. When Randall was released from the hospital, Phyllis invited us to dinner. Nothing fancy. Just the 4 of us. I'll cook. Garrett hesitated. Looked at me. Your call. I said. Okay. But if it turns into an ambush, it won't. I promise. The dinner was awkward, but not hostile. Phyllis served pot roast, made small talk, asked about work, about our apartment, about mundane things. When dessert came, she cleared her throat. I know I've said this before, but I need to say it again, properly. I was wrong. About you. About the wedding. About everything. I let my fears control me. I let old patterns dictate my behavior. And I hurt you. Both of you. Badly. I'm sorry. Truly. I looked at Garrett. He nodded slightly. Thank you, I said. I appreciate that. I'm not asking for instant forgiveness. I know I need to earn that. But I'm asking for a chance. To prove I can be better. You'll get 1 chance, Garrett said. 1. If you mess it up, I won't. I swear. Over the next year, Phyllis proved it. Slowly, carefully. She called before visiting, respected boundaries, didn't pry, didn't offer unsolicited advice. When our first wedding anniversary came, she sent a card with a gift card inside. $3,000. The amount my parents had contributed. Note attached. For your anniversary trip, or whatever you choose. No strings. Garrett and I went to Hawaii, used every penny. When we got back, we invited Phyllis and Randall to dinner. Our apartment, our terms. It was still awkward, but less so. And slowly, over months and then years, something resembling a relationship formed. Not the relationship we'd hoped for at the beginning. Not mother and son without complications. Not in-laws who were friends. But something functional, respectful, bounded. Phyllis never joined the support group, but she did donate to it. Anonymously at first, then publicly. I can't undo what I did, she told me once. But maybe I can help prevent others from making the same mistakes. Victoria did something similar. She funded a nonprofit for women escaping controlling families. Worked with therapists to develop resources. Both women, in their own ways, tried to make amends. It didn't erase the damage. Nothing could. But it was something. 3 years after the lawsuit, I got pregnant. When we told Phyllis, she cried. Thank you for giving me another chance at this. This is your second chance, I said. Not your third. Don't mess it up. I won't. I promise. And so far, she hasn't. She babysits when we need her, but respects our parenting. Offers advice only when asked. Buys reasonable gifts. Instead of trying to buy affection. She's trying. Really trying. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if Thaddeus hadn't called that night. If I hadn't gone to the bar. If the emails had never been exposed. Would Phyllis have destroyed us? Would Garrett and I have survived? I don't know. But I know this. Sometimes the only way to fix something broken is to shatter it completely. To expose every crack and fault line. To let it all fall apart. And then, if you're lucky, you can rebuild. Not into what it was, but into something stronger. Something honest. Something real. The support group still meets monthly. I go when I can. The faces change. New women arrive with fresh wounds. Others graduate, having healed enough to move on. Elena runs it now. She's written a book about her experience. It became a bestseller. Claire started a nonprofit providing legal help to daughters-in-law dealing with abusive in-laws. Vanessa became a therapist specializing in family trauma. Each of us took our pain and transmuted it into something useful. And the Facebook group, the Protecting Our Legacy group that started it all, it's gone, deleted. Most of the women in it have quietly retreated from public life. Some have apologized, some haven't. But they all learned that actions have consequences. That manipulation and cruelty don't stay hidden forever. Last month, Garrett and I celebrated our 4th anniversary. We had dinner with Phyllis and Randall, then dessert with my parents, then drinks with friends. It was nice, normal even. And as I sat there watching Garrett laugh at something his father said, I realized something. We'd survived, not just survived. We'd grown, changed, become stronger. The woman Phyllis tried to destroy no longer existed. In her place was someone harder, wiser, less willing to accept mistreatment. And the man who doubted me in his parents' living room, he was gone too. In his place was my husband, my partner, someone who'd chosen me over comfort, over family obligation, over everything. We weren't the same people who'd gotten married 4 years ago. We were better. That night, after everyone left, Garrett pulled me close. I love you. You know that? I know. I'm sorry it took me so long to choose you, to really choose you. You chose me when it mattered. Still, I should have trusted you from the start. You trust me now. That's what counts. He kissed me, always. Later, lying in bed, I thought about the younger version of me, the one who'd signed Victoria's papers and walked away from Thaddeus. She'd been so scared, so convinced she wasn't worth fighting for. I wish I could tell her that it gets better, that she'll find someone who fights for her, that she'll become someone who fights for herself. But she had to learn that on her own. We all do. My phone buzzed. Text from Elena. New woman at group tonight. Her story sounds like yours. Same tactics, different family. Thought you'd want to know. I typed back. Send her my number. Happy to talk. Because that's the thing about surviving something terrible. You don't just survive it for yourself. You survive it so you can help the next person. And the next. And the next. Breaking the cycle isn't just about stopping the abuse. It's about making sure others know they can survive it too. That they're not crazy, not weak, not wrong. That they're worth fighting for, even if they have to fight for themselves. The next morning, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Hi, my name is Deirdre. Elena gave me your number. I hope that's okay. It's fine. What's going on? And she told me. A story that sounded depressingly familiar. A mother-in-law who couldn't let go, who manipulated, who lied, who turned family members against her. I listened, offered advice, shared resources. Does it get better? She asked. Yes, but not in the way you think. It doesn't go back to normal. You become a different version of yourself, and you build a different life, one with boundaries. I don't know if I can do that. You can. I promise you can. It's hard. It's painful, but you're stronger than you think. When we hung up, I felt lighter, purposeful. This was why it all happened. Not just for me to survive, but to help others survive too. Garrett came into the kitchen. Who was that? New member of the group. Her mother-in-law is a nightmare. Aren't they all? He smiled, kissed my forehead. You're good at this, helping people. I had good teachers. You, Elena, Thaddeus in a weird way. Thaddeus, he showed me that men can change, that they can choose to do better. You proved it. Garrett pulled me close. We both chose better. That's what matters. The rest of the morning was peaceful. Coffee, breakfast, the newspaper, normal things, boring things, beautiful things, things I'd fought for, things I'd earned. That afternoon, my phone buzzed again. This time, a call from Phyllis. I almost didn't answer. Old habits. But I did. Hey. Hi. I was wondering if you and Garrett were free this weekend. Randall and I want to take you both to dinner. A nice place. Our treat. Why? Because it's been a while. And because I'd like to spend time with my son and daughter-in-law. No ulterior motive. Just dinner. I hesitated. Old scars don't heal completely. They just stop hurting as much. Let me talk to Garrett. I'll text you. Thank you, really. Garrett agreed, cautiously, with conditions. One dinner. If it goes south, we leave. No explanations needed. Dinner was at a steakhouse downtown. Phyllis wore a simple dress. Randall wore slacks and a polo. No power suits, no intimidation tactics. They asked about work, about friends, about our lives. Phyllis showed photos from a trip to Colorado. Randall talked about a fishing trip with his brother. Normal conversation, no hidden agendas. When the check came, Randall paid without commentary. No speeches, no references to the past. As we walked to our cars, Phyllis touched my arm, gently. Thank you for giving us another chance. I know we didn't deserve it. You're working for it. That's what matters. I hope someday, when you and Garrett have children, I can be the grandmother they deserve, not the mother-in-law I was. Then keep going to therapy. Keep working on yourself. Keep respecting boundaries. I will. I promise. We drove home, Garrett's hand in mine. That wasn't terrible, he said. No, it wasn't. Think they'll keep it up? Maybe. Time will tell. And it did. Slowly. Month by month, dinner by dinner, phone call by phone call. Phyllis and Randall showed up, consistently, respectfully, without drama. They became the parents Garrett needed them to be. Not perfect, but trying. And that was enough. 5 years after the lawsuit, I ran into Victoria at a coffee shop. She saw me first, tensed, as if expecting anger. I walked over. Hi. Hello? How are you? Surviving. You? Same. Silence. Not hostile, just uncertain. I hear you started a foundation, I said. I did. It's small, but it's helping people. That's good. It doesn't make up for what I did. No, but it's something. More silence. I'm glad you're happy, Victoria said finally. With Garrett, you deserve that. Thank you. And Thaddeus, he's engaged. Did you know? I'm happy for him. I heard. She's wonderful, kind, strong. Reminds me of you, actually. That's high praise. Victoria smiled sadly. It is. I mean it. I left the coffee shop feeling oddly peaceful. The anger I'd carried for so long was mostly gone. In its place was something like pity. These women, Victoria, Phyllis, all the others, they were victims too, of generational trauma, of patriarchal systems that taught them their value came from their children's success, of mothers who'd done the same to them. It didn't excuse what they'd done, but it explained it. And understanding, even without forgiveness, can be its own kind of freedom. That night, I told Garrett about running into Victoria. How did that feel? Weird, but okay. I don't hate her anymore. Good. Hate is exhausting. It really is. We sat on our balcony, the city stretched out below us. Lights twinkling, lives being lived. Do you ever regret it? I asked, cutting them off, fighting back. No. Do you? No. But sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we just accepted it. Let them control things. Stayed quiet. We'd be miserable. Or divorced. Probably both. Yeah. Standing up to them was the best thing we ever did. Even though it was hell. Because of how it was. Or because of who we became. He thought about it. Both. I leaned against him. Watched the lights. And I thought about all the women who'd never get this. Who'd stay trapped in toxic relationships with in-laws. Who'd believe the lies about themselves. Who'd lose themselves trying to please people who couldn't be pleased. I thought about Deirdre, and Elena, and Claire, and Vanessa, and all the others. And I hoped they'd find their way out, find their strength, find themselves. Because that's the real victory. Not the lawsuit. Not the exposed emails. Not the public shaming. The victory is becoming someone who refuses to be destroyed. Someone who knows their worth. Someone who fights back. That's what Phyllis and Victoria never understood. They thought they could break us. Thought they could control us through fear and manipulation. But all they did was forge us into something harder. Something unbreakable. And now, years later, they're the ones trying to earn their way back into our lives. The power shifted, permanently. That's the thing about standing up to bullies. Even bullies who share your DNA. Even bullies who raised you. Even bullies who claim to love you. Once you stand up once, you can't unknow that you're capable of it. You can't go back to being small. You can't pretend their opinions matter more than your own. You can't unsee the truth. And the truth is simple. You are worthy of respect, of kindness, of dignity, from everyone, including family, especially family. My phone buzzed. Text from Elena. Group tomorrow night. You coming? I typed back. Absolutely. Because this is what survival looks like. Showing up for others who are still fighting, still struggling, still learning that they're worth fighting for. Garrett looked at my phone. Group tomorrow? Yeah, you're really good at that. Helping people. Have you ever thought about doing it professionally? Like what? Therapy? Or coaching? Or writing about it? Your story could help a lot of people. I'd thought about it. In quiet moments. When I couldn't sleep. When another woman reached out asking for advice. Maybe. Someday. I think you should. You've lived through something most people can't imagine. And you came out stronger. That's powerful. It's also exhausting. All good work is exhausting. He wasn't wrong. That night, I started writing. Just for myself. The whole story. From the beginning. Meeting Garrett. Meeting Phyllis. The wedding. The cruise photos. The lawsuit. Thaddeus. Victoria. The emails. The Facebook group. The confrontation. The healing. All of it. I wrote until 3 a.m. 11,000 words. Single sitting. When I finished, I felt empty. Wrung out. But also lighter. I'd told my story. My way. In my words. Garrett found me in the morning. Asleep at the computer. He read what I'd written. All of it. This is incredible. You should publish it. I don't know. Yes, you do. This is important. Women need to hear this. They need to know they're not alone. But our names. Your parents. Change the names. Keep the truth. Let people learn from it. I thought about Deirdre. About how lost she'd sounded on the phone. If my story could help even one person, wasn't that worth the discomfort? Okay, I'll try. I sent it to Elena. She loved it. This is exactly what women need to read. Raw, honest, real. No sugarcoating. No fairy tale ending. Just truth. She connected me with her publisher. 3 months later, I had a book deal. The book came out a year later. The Price of Family. One woman's fight against toxic in-laws. It sold 50,000 copies in the first month. The reviews were polarizing. Some people thought I was brave. Others thought I was petty, vindictive, ungrateful. The negative reviews came mostly from older women. Women who saw themselves in Phyllis and Victoria. Who didn't like being called out for their behavior. But the positive reviews came from women who'd lived it. Who'd survived similar situations, who finally felt seen. One review. I thought I was crazy. My mother-in-law made me feel crazy. This book showed me I wasn't. I'm filing for divorce next month. Thank you for giving me the courage. Another. My therapist recommended this book. It changed my life. I'm setting boundaries for the first time ever. Another. My son is engaged. I read this book. I will not be the mother-in-law in these pages. Thank you for the wake-up call. Those reviews made it worth it. Every angry comment. Every accusation. Every uncomfortable family gathering. Because the book did what I'd hoped. It started conversations. About boundaries, about respect, about the damage families can do when they prioritize control over love. Phyllis read it. She called me after. I cried through the whole thing. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. I needed to see myself through your eyes, to understand what I put you through. It's worse than I thought. Phyllis, I'm not calling to make excuses. I'm calling to say thank you for telling the truth, even though it was unflattering, even though it was painful. Women need to hear this. Mothers need to hear this. That means a lot. I bought 50 copies, sent one to every woman in my book club, with a note. This is what happens when we let fear control us. Let's do better. I didn't know what to say. You're a good writer, Phyllis continued, and a good person. I'm sorry it took me so long to see that. After we hung up, I cried. Not sad tears, relief tears, because maybe, just maybe, something good had come from all the pain. The book tour was surreal. Bookstore after bookstore, town after town, women lining up to share their stories. Every single one had a mother-in-law horror story. Every single one. Some worse than mine, some not as bad, but all painful, all damaging. And they all asked the same question. How did you survive? My answer was always the same. I decided I was worth fighting for, and then I fought. One woman, older, probably 70, approached me after an event. I was that mother-in-law to my son's first wife. I drove her away, exactly like the woman in your book. Reading this, I finally understood what I did. I reached out to her, apologized. After 20 years, she accepted. We're having coffee next week. Thank you. Those moments made the whole thing worthwhile. The book hit the bestseller list 3 months after release. Major publications interviewed me, morning shows, podcasts, radio. Everyone wanted to know about the lawsuit, about Thaddeus, about Phyllis and Victoria. I answered honestly, without embellishment, without softening the edges. And the response was overwhelming. Thousands of women reached out, sharing their stories, asking for advice, thanking me for speaking up. The support group expanded. We started chapters in different cities, online meetings for women who couldn't attend in person. Elena and I co-hosted a podcast, Breaking the Cycle. Each episode featured a different woman's story. It became one of the top family-focused podcasts in the country. And through it all, Garrett was there, supporting me, encouraging me, proud of what I'd built from our pain. You turned the worst thing that happened to us into something beautiful, he said one night. We did, together. No, this is you. I just showed up. You did more than show up. You chose me. You fought for us. That's everything. He kissed me. I'd do it again. Every time. 2 years after the book came out, I got an email from Victoria. I wanted you to know. I read your book. Multiple times. I've been working with a therapist on understanding why I did what I did. The generational trauma, the fear of losing control, the toxic beliefs I inherited. It's no excuse, but it's an explanation. I'm also working with your foundation now. Volunteering, helping women who are dealing with controlling family members. It's the least I can do. Thank you for being brave enough to tell your story. It saved me from myself. Victoria. I showed Garrett. Think she means it? I think she's trying. That's all anyone can do. Are you going to respond? Yeah, I think I will. I typed back. Thank you for the email. I'm glad you're doing the work. It takes courage to change. Keep going. You're helping people. Simple, but true. Because that's what this is really about. Not revenge, not vindication, not even justice. It's about change, about breaking cycles, about becoming better than the pain that shaped us. 5 years after the lawsuit, 7 years after the wedding, Garrett and I bought a house. Small, nothing fancy, but ours. We invited both sets of parents to the housewarming. Mine brought wine and homemade cookies. Phyllis and Randall brought a tree for the backyard. For planting roots, Phyllis said, for your new beginning. We planted it together, all 6 of us, taking turns with the shovel. And as I watched the tree settle into the ground, I thought about roots, about how they anchor you, about how they also spread, connect, intertwine. Our relationship with Phyllis and Randall would never be simple. There would always be scars, always be caution. But there was also growth, change, something new taking root. That night, after everyone left, Garrett and I sat on our back porch. Happy? He asked. Yeah. You? Yeah. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the sky darken, listening to the neighborhood settle. And I thought about the woman I'd been when I first met Phyllis, young, eager to please, desperate to be accepted. She was gone, replaced by someone harder, wiser, someone who knew her worth. The journey to get here had been brutal, painful, often unfair, but I wouldn't change it. Because this version of me, the one sitting on this porch, in this house with this man, she was worth every fight, every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt. She was worth it. And that, more than anything else, was the real victory. Not that I'd survived, but that I'd become someone I was proud to be. Someone who refused to be diminished, who set boundaries, who fought back when necessary, who forgave when possible, who moved forward when it wasn't. Someone whole. My phone buzzed. Text from Deirdre. I left him. I'm staying with my sister. I'm scared, but I'm free. Thank you for showing me it was possible. I showed Garrett. He squeezed my hand. Another one saved. Not saved, just shown the door. She walked through it herself. Still counts. Yeah, it does. I typed back. Proud of you. It gets better. I promise. And it does. It really does. Not immediately, not easily, but eventually. You build a new life, set new boundaries, become a new person. You learn that family isn't just blood. It's choice. It's respect. It's love without conditions. You learn that some relationships can't be saved, and that's okay. You learn that you are enough, just as you are, without proving anything to anyone. You learn that the people who truly love you will fight to keep you, won't make you fight to stay. You learn, you grow, you survive. And then one day you realize you're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving, living a life that's authentically yours, built on your terms, filled with people who respect you, a life worth fighting for, because you fought for it. That's the real ending, not the lawsuit, not the exposed emails, not the reconciliation with Phyllis. The ending is me, here, now, happy, married to a man who chose me, who fought for me, who continues to choose me every single day, connected to women who survived similar battles, who help each other heal, at peace with a past that tried to destroy me but failed, looking forward to a future I'm building deliberately, carefully, with intention. That's the story, not a fairy tale, not a revenge fantasy, not a neat resolution, just real life, messy, complicated, beautiful in its imperfection, and I'm proud of it, proud of me, proud of us, because we survived, we changed, we grew, and we're still here, still fighting, still loving, still choosing each other, every single day. That's enough. That's everything. And that's where this story ends. Not with an ending, but with a beginning. The beginning of the rest of our lives, lived on our terms, in our way, together. As we sit on the porch, Garrett's phone buzzes. His brother. Hey, Brianna and I are engaged. Want to come to dinner tomorrow to celebrate? Garrett looks at me. I nod. Yeah, we'll be there. Great. Oh, and I told Mom and Dad not to come. I'm not ready for that yet. Just us. And you two. Sounds perfect. After he hangs up, Garrett turns to me. His brother's getting a second chance. Because of us. Because we showed him it was possible to set boundaries. Good. Everyone deserves that chance. Yeah, they do. We sit a while longer. Then go inside, make dinner, watch TV, do normal couple things. And it's perfect. Not because it's extraordinary, but because it's ours. Hard won, fought for, earned. The next day, at dinner with Garrett's brother and Brianna, we toast to new beginnings, to second chances, to love that survives. Brianna pulls me aside. Thank you for everything. I read your book. It gave me the courage to try again, to believe he'd be different this time. Is he? Completely. He's in therapy. He set boundaries with Phyllis. He's choosing me. Actually, choosing me. That's all that matters. I'm terrified she'll ruin it again. She might try, but you're stronger now. Both of you. Don't let fear of what might happen steal the joy of what is happening. She hugs me. You're amazing. You know that? I'm just someone who refused to give up. That's what makes you amazing. Later, Garrett and I drive home. Our house, our life, our choice. And I think about all the versions of me that led to this moment. The girl who took money from Victoria. The woman who married Garrett. The wife who exposed Phyllis. The author who told her story. The mentor helping other women. Each version necessary. Each version painful. Each version purposeful. All leading here, to this moment. This life. This peace. I love you, I tell Garrett. I love you too. Always. Always. We pull into our driveway. See the tree we planted. See our home. See our future. And I smile. Because this is what winning looks like. Not revenge. Not victory over enemies. Just life. Good life. Chosen life. And that's everything.